Big on giving practical advice. I know we sometimes you can me I can get caught up in this too, with being very philosophical and very theological and just like I'm doing right now, giving big words, and I can be kind of heady and the stuff gets up here. But at the same time, I try to bring it down and make it very simple to where it makes a lot of sense. So I can go from 10 but bring it back down to 1, 2, and 3 to where it makes sense. When I'm saying that, I mean you can go from as soon as you get done listening to this podcast, this video, you can apply it to your life right now. Right. So um today I'm breaking down just 3 simple habits that hoopers can apply to the game to make them better and help them grow in their life. So I know you probably hear this thing about a lot about habits and players need habits, hooper habits. You're probably tired of hearing it, but I'm going to help you out a little bit and just explain why habits matter so much. So everybody has habits, whether we aware of it or not. That's kind of what the habit is. It's kind of something we do, second nature. That it's just a thing that we tend to do. It's kind of what we tend to do, and that's powerful because if you can have good habits or the right habits, you can become better or become really good without even trying or thinking about it as much. So the power behind habits is because when you have the right habits, you become disciplined. And when you become disciplined, you become consistent. And when you become more consistent with something, you become more confident at something. When you become confident at something, then you get the ball rolling where you become good at that thing. So let's say just this is a bigger habit when I'm giving to you, but the habit of getting up and going to the gym every morning, getting up shots. So that becomes a habit for you where if you don't do it, you start to feel weird. It's like, man, I'm missing something today. Oh, I didn't go to the gym and go shoot this morning. All right. So the more you do that, you become disciplined at it, you become consistent at it, and you become confident at it because over time, you're building a skill of becoming a good shooter. Now you become confident in this you might be the next Steph Curry, you feel me? So on that lineage of the Mount Rushmores of all-time great shooters because you built the habit of becoming a great shooter. But it's not what I'm talking about here. It's more about like just thinking through the habits that you need to become a better human being. It's like very small sort of things. I don't want to give you these big gargantuan changes. Like I just said, wake up before school and go train and work out. You've probably heard this stuff before. It's not that grand of a thing. It's a small little pebble to throw into the river, start ripple effect. You throw a stone in the river or the ocean, whatever, and it starts off small, but the circle gets bigger and it becomes wider and it's become larger. And now it's this big ripple circle of water. Great explanation, but it's the best I can come up with on the fly. But that's the habit I want to give you guys today. Was a small stone being thrown into the water that has a big ripple effect, and it means a lot more. And so, the first one I'm going to give you guys. Oh, before I get there, the reason why I don't want to give you the big one is because when we start to, you want to bite this big piece of meat off this bone, and sometimes we can't consistently do that. So you want to say you want to get the habit of, like I said, getting up early and going to the gym, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever. That become a lot for some people. And we get overwhelmed sometimes and we just quit. Then we start another one, and we quit that one too. Start another one, and we quit that one too. So now we're in this habit of you know, starting bad habits of now being a quitter. You don't want to do that. So give you a small one you kind of add into to where it can supplement and be an aid and help you add on to being more successful. So the first habit I want you to start to go do just a little bit more. Think about as you already doing something, just add more on top of it, just a little bit more. You can be a nerd right here and learn just a little bit more. So, small example, think about something that you already do on a daily basis, regardless. Like you're gonna wake up, you're gonna brush your hair, brush your teeth, put your shoes on, grab your bag, head out the door, get in the car, or before you get to school, you're gonna do X, Y, and Z. Go to your locker, do something. When you go to lunch, you're gonna do something. When you get to the car to go home, you're gonna do something. Before you go to bed, you're gonna brush your teeth again. Hopefully, you're brushing your teeth. Just say that first. Hopefully, you're brushing your teeth. That can be a whole nother issue. But if you're not, let's start to add that habit in too. Okay. But you're brushing your teeth and you're doing this, you're doing that, or whatever. Now, take one of those tasks you're doing, just add a little bit more on top of it. When I say that, I mean, say you want to learn more about basketball. So you might just sit down and watch 5 minutes of YouTube video. You might watch 5 minutes of film of highlights of a certain player. You want to learn a little bit more. You might sit back and read. you might just read a little bit more. So every morning you wake up, you want to have an audio book playing. It's 5 minutes or not 5 chapters, 5 pages. I mean, it's a little bit more. Add just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit. As soon as you wake up in the morning, find a chapter in the book and read it. Find 5 pages and read it. Wake up and for five every morning. You wake up to do 5 push-ups, like something just a little bit more. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit more. So figure out something you want to get good at and be better at, whether it's reading, whether it's drinking water, whether it's meditating, whatever. Just do a little bit more. Whether you sit on the toilet every day, you go to the toilet, you just instead of scrolling on Instagram and TikTok and just find latest videos, sit on YouTube and watch film for a second. Find a book to read, find some articles to read, and just read a little bit more. I know it's not as fun, but think about how easy it is. You're already sitting there on the toilet, you're already on your phone, you're already brushing your teeth when you're looking in the mirror. Why not have something added to it that can be good and beneficial for that way too? Okay. Now, this one is kind of like contradicting what I just said, but it makes sense. So bear with me. So, call this a time about nothing. So, imagine that you just need a space to do absolutely nothing. So, instead of adding on, you want to take off now. So, find a space and a time to do absolutely nothing where your brain is just free to be brainy and do what it does. So, a lot of times, especially in today's time when we just have so much information flowing at us, we have too much coming at us at one time, and our brain never truly gets a chance to mentally digest what we consume at times, or we don't get a chance to really break down and think through certain stuff that we need to be doing. And that's usually when the genes can happen, where great ideas happen, because it's in that white space where the 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 brain has a habit of allowing the right information to come in at right time. So you need to give your brain space to have this window to do nothing. So for you might wake up in the morning and just drive for the first 5 minutes of your drive, you just do nothing. Or you might drive from this point to school, from this point to work or whatever. Give a spot for your brain to do nothing. This is a good habit to have because your brain needs time to digest all the information it's consuming. Your brain needs time to just breathe sometimes and let it do what it does. But we can't keep consuming information all the time and thinking music all the time and doing whatever. As soon as you get done training, you go on and listen to music. You go on and scroll on your phone. Give some space behind a task you just done and you learning something. It's called white noise. You want to have your brain in a white noise space or a white space to where you're not throwing paint on the wall. It's just an empty blank wall that needs the paint to already dry on there. So think about it like that. So we already sat down through the session and just painted a white wall on here and just cleaned up this mess and did this and this, that. You want to give the time for that paint to dry in your brain, that skill you just learned, or the thought process you just grooved into your shot, the muscle memory, which is not real. Another conversation. I might make a video on that. Muscle memory is not real. Anyway, you need to give your time. You need to give your brain time for that paint to dry to where you're giving yourself that habit and that new groove that you just learned, that new skill you just learned to actually set into your brain and dry. But when you go straight from the session, the back on your phone, and you listen to music and you're talking to your girl, you're talking to your mom, doing whatever, all these things are compounding now. And it's like your brain doesn't have as much time to digest the information like it should. So therefore, pull it back some, have a space, especially after learning something. Really ideally you want to have about 20 minutes afterwards. But if you can't do that, I understand. Just the habit of I'm already done training. Give a space between there 5 minutes where I can just sit down and let my brain do what it do. So now if you want to get more sophisticated with it, give a space for you to meditate. Give a space for you to just sit down and just breathe and just think and do nothing. To go outside and look at nature. It doesn't have to be too complex and too deep. Just make it simple to where I'm already outside. I'm already done training. I've already sat down and done this work. I'm already studied. I've already read. Why not give the space for my brain to sit here and digest it? So you can meditate. You can have time when you get done, when you're eating, not doing anything while you're eating, not watching TV or reading, whatever. Just eat. You consume the food a little bit better. Once again, sit on the toilet. You might be doing something there while you're brushing your teeth. Leave your phone when you go to the bathroom with no phone. Little stuff like that you're already doing. You can add a little bit more on top of it to give or take away from it from that time to make it even be better for you. Hey, relax. It's okay. Listen, I understand that your goal is so big that it just feels daunting. It just feels overwhelming. Like you're trying to get to the NBA, you're trying to get to WNBA, you're trying to play D1 college ball. I understand sometimes that feels like a lot. But listen, you're not gonna make that jump from now tomorrow to be to the league or be in D1. So let's just slow down and focus on the whole journey. Enjoy where you're at right now, but don't get too comfortable. You have to still keep working. You still have to make some type of progress and still keep growing. All you gotta do is think about this. If the minimum I can do today is get 1% better, you winning. Because there are some people gonna take a step backwards. There are some people that's gonna stop and just be equal. But technically you're not gonna be equal because I'm getting better than you, so it means you fell backwards now. And so you gotta get 1% better. Because it's a slow grind from where you're at now to where you want to get to. You don't have to worry about taking over the world in one day. Just take over step by step, one piece at a time, 1% better. It's a whole journey. Okay. You got this goal that's just hanging over you, weighing you down. But this goal, the end destination, it's not gonna change. So you have to appreciate the journey and taking steps to get there. You're a marathon runner, but the whole marathon is about focusing on that next step. So I need you to go ahead and look at whatever one you want. You can get this one, one of the other ones. But I need you to get this reminder for you. Get you a hoodie, a t-shirt, whichever one, as a reminder that progress is my only goal. And progress don't mean I'm perfect. Progress don't mean I'm there. Progress means I'm getting better. Because better and better adds up to being the best you that you can be. But the best is not existing because you're always going to get better. So get you this peaceful reminder right here to say, hey, all I gotta do is be a little bit better, 1% better, and I'll get to that goal at some point. So remember, it's about the entire journey and not just the end goal, because progress is the only goal. Lastly, I know it might hurt your feelings, like man, you might roll your eyes, you might log out the video and just threw the phone at the wall. But hear me out. You want to give your brain time to have no technology and no outside influences like that, especially when you wake up and when you're going to bed. Ideally, the first hour and the last hour of that day, delay that process between waking up and touching your phone as much as possible. If you can go an hour, that would be amazing. I can't do it as much because of it's my alarm and I do little stuff I read off my phone that, I just, I need little stuff to read off my phone, and go through my day, whatever. But if you can, figure out a way to not have to get on your phone for that first hour of the day. When you go to bed, if you can help it, don't watch TV or nothing that lasts hours. So your bedtime's at 9. From 8 to 9, try to have any technology on, besides like the lights, of course. But the last hour, like just sit there and like just meditate. You can sit there and read a book. You can sit there and just breathe. You can sit there and journal and write out stuff. Like do something else besides being on your phone. Because a lot of times we have the negative influences on our phones. You go through social media and see this crazy news that somebody just died or somebody talking trash about somebody, see some fights. And it's just crazy stuff we see on social media all the time. You don't want to start your morning like that. You definitely want to end your night like that. That's two very sensitive spaces where your brain is at the most. That's the place where your brain has the biggest impression. So imagine the time where the brain's most sensitive, and you can put the biggest impression on your brain because your brain went from nothing to something. The first thing it sees of something is negative or something crazy. It's like starting your day. Imagine like your brain is tired and wear out from all day, and then the last thing it sees before it goes to bed for 6, 7, 8 hours, the last thing it has to consume and chew on something stupid and negative. It's not a great way to go to bed. But imagine you can begin and end your day. The first and fourth quarter of your day start off with a positive state or in a once again kind of letting your brain, the paint that you have in your brain dry, and then building on top of that. Imagine you can do that. So I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's mandatory. Once again, these habits are not mandatory. Not something I'm forcing you to do. Just something I want you, a challenge that you can take. You feel me? To add on to your life to where, hey, something simple we can do. You're already going to wake up. You're already going to go to bed. Why not challenge yourself to add this habit to not be on my phone as much? Maybe it's just 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's 15, 30, whatever, to where you're not on your phone, not using technology, whatever. The first 60 minutes and last 60 minutes of your day. If you can do that, that would be amazing for you. So give some space where you're not on your phone as much. If you don't want to do it beginning, ending, like I said before, find times where you're just not on your phone as much. Whether it's once again using the bathroom, brush your teeth, toilet, talking with your friends, just be present and be in the moment where you are. So Three very simple habits that you hoopers can add to your game and add to your life to where it'll make a difference. Just try it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever, 120, 365, whatever. Make it a habit because you need good habits because they build discipline. When you become disciplined, you become consistent. When you become consistent, you become confident. Once you want to become more confident, figure out some good habits you want to add to your life to where now you've built up this level of discipline, consistency. Now you're more confident, not just on the court and on your in your game, but you're now building this in your life too. So that's it. Let me know which habit you like the most. You want to talk about some more habits? If you want me to talk about muscle memory, I can do that for you. It's kind of a hot topic, but most of them is not real. But anyway, let me know, like, comment, share with your homie, partner, teammate, mama, grandma, sister, auntie, cousin, everybody in the group. Just share it and show some love, man. But that's it. Appreciate you watching. See you.